Hello, welcome back. Last time a couple of interesting things happened. I had one puzzle where I had to apply a completely different rule set to solve it, and another one where I was shown a totally different hazard of misreads than normally I had experienced. I want to look at... Okay, both of these have perfect symmetry, right? This was the one where I had to use it in the puzzle. So I observed something here. So if I look at the rows, 3, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7 in the center. So I can look at the rows here and see that they are perfectly symmetrical. Sorry, columns. Look at the columns. But I can also, something I didn't bother to look at was the value on the rows. 5, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1. All of these row numbers are perfect palindromes. And I'm 99% certain that if both of those things are true, all rows are perfect palindromes, all columns are exactly mirror images of each other, then symmetry is guaranteed and there's no way there could be any asymmetry anywhere in the puzzle. If one of those things is false, well, if the column one is false, then it's definitely asymmetrical. If the row one is false, I'm not as certain. But I think the exact same rule applies here, however, I had a way to do it without applying that. It feels very intentional that penguin and skull are directly next to each other. So in the future I can check for symmetry here, check for symmetry here, and if both are true, then I can use a different rule set for solving. Also, so what happened in 41, I need to adjust my techniques used to re-evaluate rows I have already tried to input, because this row right here, rows and columns, whatever I'm doing, this row right here I misread as wiggle room of 2 because I counted it a weird way. Therefore I couldn't input anything for the initial 2, but this was a really important thing to input because it eliminated a whole lot of space here and just kind of opened up the entire puzzle for actually solving. So, re-evaluate whether a misread has happened, if something doesn't seem right, and also the way the symmetry rule works. Okay, so 42. Well, I need to apply either of these. I can instantly see there's no symmetry. This is 12 wide, you're in 11, so you get that much. That starts with a 4, so I already know that. Yes, I know that I filled those in. Let's just do everything that that row touched, because yeah, if I get an edge, like any cells on any of the 4 edges will tell me a lot about all the other things that touch them. So that initial 11 being at the very bottom sure does open up a whole lot of stuff right away. Okay, so having done that, this row can already be done, this row can already be done, this one not quite. I know that's the 7, so I know the 1's here, so that's blank. I know that's the 5. Alright, and that's as much as I know. Okay, so columns again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. This is a 3 already. There's a 2 in there somewhere. This is a 2 already. This could be a 3, but I don't know yet. Okay, this 3 has to be like this because that other one can't be filled in, and that finishes the column, giving me another edge completely done. So that's that 2, that 2 can't fit there, this is a 1. Okay, cool. So I know you're a 2, but I don't know anything else to do anything with that. Okay, so now I'm kind of just like, I've boxed out a lot of the puzzle here. This one touches other stuff, so I can finish that column and kind of work my way out from here a little bit. Just keep doing this technique. Alright, that's gotten me all the way there. You're a 2. Yeah, so big diagonal line of that shape tells me a little... What? Okay, well this 3 is done. That's a 1, actually. Okay, so that's cut off a lot of the puzzle. This is a 1. The 2 has to have a cell there. There can't be a 2 over here. Therefore, there's one somewhere in here. Does that tell me anything? Yes, it tells me that has to be active. Okay. So if that starts with a 3, then that's inactive. And the cell of the 2 that has to be there is this one. Okay, so that's inactive. 2, 1. Okay, so 2 and a 1 can't fit there, therefore this has to be here. 3 gets some constraints. Okay. Then what? 2 could go in either place, 1 could go in either place. There's a 3 somewhere in here, there's a 4 somewhere in here. This is active, because that's 7 wide. Meaning I know where this 1 is. Okay, that's X'd out. Still 2 places for that 3 in this row to go. Alright, what else do I know? How exact a fit is this? 1 space, 1, 2 space, 1, 2, 1 wiggle room. That's true, right? Yes, okay. So that tells me about this 4, it can't go that far over. Hasn't solved this column yet, but maybe with a few more of those. That 3 can't go that far over. Ah, so there's only one place for this 2 now, because those are all spaces of 1. Therefore this 3 is here, and the rest is blank. And this is done. And this has to be contiguous, so that's my 4. This is a... that 3 is done, that 2 is done, that 1 is done, this 2 is still unknown. This is a 1? I don't know that. No, yes I do, because this can only fit like that now. There we go. Don't know about you, except I do because this row is just a 1. There's that 4, here's that 2, and it's done. Alright, what am I looking at? Is that a phone? No, it's a lever. Okay, cool. 43. No symmetry, okay. That's what I'm checking first now, because it's pretty easy to eyeball. 6, 5. How exact a fit is that? Very exact, okay. 5, 1, 2. Wiggle room of 2. 3, 3, no. 3, 1, 4. It's going to be less than 5, 1, 2. No, the same number. So wiggle room of 2. Let's check it. 3, space, 1, space, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Five, 3 is wiggle room of 3, right? So this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, wiggle room. Yes, okay. Alright. 5 means that. 5, 2, I know that's the 5, which tells me this and nothing more, right? Yeah. I know this is a 4, which tells me those things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 wiggle room left, so those 2 can be filled in. I don't know which this is, don't know about that yet. Yes, I do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wiggle room of 2 in this area, and in this region there's only 1. Yeah, so I can split my wiggles. Sure. 4 and 1 could fit up here. This has to be separate, therefore that's the 2, and the 4 is there, and that whole column is done. This has to be separate, of course. So this is a 3, that's the 4, however from those things alone I think I can't conclude anything more. This is the 4. So the wiggle room is only 1 for this 2, so that goes there. And the 3 also can input one of them. There's 1, 2, 3, space, space, 1, 2, 3, 4 is valid. Space, space, 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, 4 is valid. Yes, okay. 4, I can X out some things. 2, I can X out a lot of things. Okay. 5 is contiguous, so I know that whole thing. 5 and 3. 5 can't fit here, so therefore this is part of it, so therefore that's X'd. And there's a 3 somewhere in here, which can only be here. Okay. 3 and 4. Could be either way around. 3... Okay, this is a 3. 1, 4... This 4 is a little bit clamped. It has less wiggle room because there's a 1 in one of these two. 5, 5, 1, 2... 3, 3. A 3 could fit here. 1, 2, 3, space 1, 2, 3 could also fit there. 5 can't fit here. Well, it's not that it can't fit, it's that there's already part of it in another place. You have to be the 5, yes, because it can't fit elsewhere. This is a 2, that's a 3, that's a done. Okay. 5, done. 5, 2, done. 4, 4, all I know is this. 1, 4, well, okay, I guess I know that then. And this. 4, 5, that's as much as I know. 4, 1, 2. Still don't know for sure. 2, 3, 4, 2. So if this is here, then that must be, therefore this is an exact fit. Okay. Except for the 2. 3, 4, 3, oh sorry, 2, 4, 3. There's already a 2, so it looks exactly like that, so that's the 4, so the 3 is like this. This is a 4, so you need one of those. Alright, back to rows, you're done. Yeah, so when the puzzle is this fruitful, then I can just go iterate through rows and columns back and forth and just get things done. It's when things are a little more finicky about it that I would be more efficient to pull out the alternating approach. Like once I've affected a row with a column cell or a column with a row cell, then switch to just looking at that. But here, this way around works just fine. No, other kind. This is a clover? Yes, there is a clover item. I got it. In fact, I got the upgrade, and I still didn't know what it did. I thought it probably had something to do with collecting money, but it didn't increase the coin value or anything. Maybe I just got more? I do not know. 44. 16 by 16. No, 11 by 11. 16 by 16 is a lot larger than that. 161 looks like it has not much wiggle room, and indeed, that's wiggle room of 1. Okay. 151, wiggle room of 2. So that. 151, just like this. Alright, any appealing columns initially? Well, I know this is the 5 here, because there's no other way that 2 could fit with anything. I know this is the 6 here, because the 1 doesn't come first there. I know this is the 2. I know this is A1, and the rest is clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that can't fit that way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, space 1. Space, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, space 1. Yes, okay. You're fine, you're fine. You don't have much in the way of wiggle room. So 161, I can just rotate the other column. Go out 3, do that, yes, and stop. Okay. Sorry, rotate the row. So that gives me the 1 there. Nice. And right, yeah, so I have an edge now. Yeah, so use the edges. That's a useful technique. And using the edges, what can I learn? That's a 2, that's a 2. And I think that's all. Okay. Then... Alright, I'm gonna go back to columns. So that's my 2 there. this could be either way around. Don't know anything more about you, don't know anything more about you, or you, or you. 1, 2, space 1, 2. Yep, could be that way around, so I know nothing. And none of these, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space 1. Wiggle room of 4, so I can input 1. 1, space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, okay. And that actually finishes a row. There we go. Okay, cool. Space 1, 2, 3, space 1 could be that way around. 1 space 1, 2, 3. This still could be the first one, so I don't know what you are. 1, 2, 2. Okay, so now I feel like I've done all the easy ones. How constrained are you, row with 5 ones? Constrained enough that I know this is here. Because only 2 ones can fit on the left, only 2 ones can fit on the right, and I have 5 ones. So you have to go there. Okay? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Sure. I know there are 2 over here, and I know there are 2 over here, and they can only fit one way. So same logic, different outcome. Cool. 1, 1. Right, and same logic for this column. Because one of them goes here, and those are an exact fit then. By the way, that's a 1 in this row. That's a 5 in this row, which tells me a lot. Okay. Alright, what else is appealing? That 5 is capped, so that's appealing. Here's another mark here. I still don't know what this mark is, except that I do know it's a 2. But I don't know which 2. I know that's a 2, therefore I know it's a 2 like this, and I know which one it is. Great. Still doesn't tell me anything more up here, but at least I know that much now. Okay, this has just enough that I don't know where anything is precisely. This is exact now. Actually, it always was. Therefore, this always was too. Oops. Okay, so those 2 rows could have been done first, I just didn't notice. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, sorry, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Just didn't look like it would fit exactly in that space. But all the edges in between gave it more extra things than my eyeballs expected it to. Alright, so that's an edge. So those 1s get capped off. Still doesn't help this 6, but at least I know where that 1 is. Ah, this 6 is capped somehow. I'm not sure when that happened, but it happened. Therefore, that's that 1. Cool. And this one has to go here. Okay, so that's that 1. This column is done, which has extended that 5 by 1. Cool. Ah, so I know this is occupied because there's only room for 1, 1 here. Therefore, the 6 caps like that. Okay. Still doesn't exactly help me, though. I see that this column interrelates with this column. Only one of them has a thing in the top row, which I also know by the 5. Doesn't directly help me solve anything else, though. 1, 5, 1. Yeah, I still don't know. It's one way or the... Well, actually, there are 3 possibilities for what goes in here. It could be this, and that, this and that, or this and that. Okay. This is an exact fit now. That's what I missed. So those are edges, which are very informative. Oh, by the way, this 5 can't reach up here. That's been true for a bit. 1, 1, don't know. 3 gets a cap, which helps me with this 5. There we go. Therefore that 6 is done. Okay, so now I need to be switching between rows and columns. So whatever I touch, look at the other one. You look like a... Yeah, so I'm looking at, so imagining like, which of these cells could flood fill to empty space? Like, this is the only one in this entire skull-looking structure that touches the empty space outside, and that's a fruitful place to look. So that's how I'm examining this now. So yeah, here's a cell touching empty space. Yeah, so if a cell touches an X, I can just ignore it forever. But if a cell touches empty space, that means there is fruitful exploration. The 1 could still fit here and the 2 could be that way. However, this does have to be X'd out. Because this has to be... Wait, no, this has to be the 2. But I still don't know if the 1 is here or here. Could be either. Okay, yeah, so I got as much as I could out of that. Therefore, other cells touching empty space. If I'm looking for something to examine, that's an easy eyeballable pattern to look at. However, it's not the only one. Now I see... Right, so I see just 1 empty space in this row. So that can be filled. Constraining that enough to finish it, which constructs my 5, so that's done. Alright, so I touched some things here. That's constrained enough. I touched this, but also that's done. Okay. And you're constrained enough to finish, which means that's an X in this column, which means that's a 2 in this row. Which means that 1 is here, and that solves the puzzle because the last one is here. Great! Little skull face. Alright. That's the face of the Reaper with the scythe that floats around and then spins if I get close. 45. 0. Okay. That's easy. Another 0. Do we have symmetry? Examine carefully. 1, 1. So I'm reading from the left, moving my cursor right to left. 0. 9, 1. 1, 6. 1, 6. 1, 6, 1. 1, 6, 1, 6. Perfect symmetry on the columns. What about rows? Rows have perfect symmetry. Okay, so I can go in symmetry mode. Also, this feels like an exact fit. And it is. And I can infer a lot of other things here, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, okay. Yeah, I might not have to apply the symmetry rule, but it is an option. And that's good to know. But yeah, those zeros constrain a lot of stuff. They basically chop the width down, well, sort of. 2, 2. For anything that doesn't have a 1 on the outsides that chops the width down. 7 looks like this. Okay, so edge. Those are 1s. These 6 is already complete. Therefore, the entire column's already complete. This is A6. But I don't know anything more about it yet. Let's see, anything more that I do know. So that's a 6, that's a 6. This is a 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, XX. XX, which decreases your wiggle room enough to do that. And remember, because this is perfect symmetry, if I make a marking in one place, I need to make it in the other two. This is not constrained enough yet. That's gotten no new constraints. Okay, columns. This 9, I already did what I could do with that. Right? No, that's... No, hang on. 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those can go way farther up. 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I didn't read them that way. Okay, so that gives me some 1s here. And some 2s. And a row completion. And also 2 more row completions. Okay. Does it tell me anything else? So this 6 is capped, great. This 6 is capped, great. And right, so therefore there's nothing below it, same for you. This 6 is capped, great. Nothing, whoops, there is something below those two. What could I be looking at? This is not an F puzzle. Right, I thought it was on the right column. I am until a new right column opens up. Okay. Here's a 1 at the edge. Right, I filled those in at some point. Still not constrained enough for those. Although with the symmetry rule... Still can't apply... Yeah, so I can just look at one side. If there are multiple places for 1s to go here... Ah, there... But no, there's only one 1 among these 3 spaces. Yeah, okay. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, you're actually done. Meaning I know where these 9s are. Okay. 7 is done. Good. I know it's not this and this. I know it's either this and this, or this and this. It's either both outers or both inners. Ah, this row is done, by the way. Which means I know where it is. Okay. Great. This is something very shiny. This row is done, by the way. And this one. Okay. 2 1s, and right, these columns are done, so they're not there, as I suspected they wouldn't be. This is an ambiguity. No, it's not because of the 7. Wait, hold on. Symmetry rule means I can just input the 7 without even doing it the other way. No, I could have just literally input the entire 7 there. Yeah, so at the start I could have done that. Right, I did not fully apply the symmetry rule, and I should have. Okay. Ah, that's one of those barriers that goes down when I hit a switch. Okay. Fox 9. 12 by 16. Okay. So anything above 6 can be partially filled here. Symmetry check, there is not symmetry. There is some asymmetry. 2, 5. This has only wiggle room of 3, so I can do that. Wait, 3, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space, 1, 2. 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did it wrong. It was wiggle room of 4. Yeah, 12 minus 8, yes, okay. I did that subtraction wrong somehow. 2, 4, 1... So let's do it this way. Add 1 to all numbers except the last one when counting this. So that's 3 plus 5 plus 1. So that's 9, therefore wiggle room is 3. Therefore the 4 can be filled in. One cell of it, that is. Okay. Did that make sense? I hope so. So since it's 3 numbers, I have 2 empty spaces, so there are 2 1s that are added, but it's easier to just directly add to 2 of the numbers that I'm counting, rather than to, like, introduce 2 more terms into the addition. So that's why it's easier for me to count 2 plus 6 plus 2. So that's 10. Wiggle room is 2, therefore 3 of the 5s can be filled in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, no, 3 of them. 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 2 plus 6, wiggle room of 4. 2 of the 6 can be filled in like that. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is less than 8. It's actually exactly 8, so just enough wiggle room I can't know what that 4 is. Okay. Alright, so I made a big mess, but this mess will turn into something eventually. A 2, a 6, and a 1. I don't know. 2 6s. Okay, so either this has to connect or this has to connect, but I don't know which one. And since I don't know which one, I can't do anything with it yet. 6 1 6. I do know this is the one because it's bracketed by multiples on both sides. And this is fully capped off. Great. Also, this column only had a wiggle room of 1, so I could have filled in a bunch of stuff there. Yeah, so I haven't applied that rule to this all the way. Actually, let's do it for this one. 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I know that's filled in. And since I know those things, then I know this is contiguous. There was another way I could have arrived at that conclusion, but that was how I got there. Okay. And for you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that means I already know this. Yes, of course I do. Space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here in the middle, I can't fill things because they're depending on which way I'm going, those are part of different countings. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that still could connect that way, or this way. Either way is possible. Okay, and if I'm evaluating columns this way, do I know this cannot be the 3? 2, 3, space, 1, 2, space, 1, 2, space, 1. I do not know that. 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, yeah, could be either. Just kind of browsing around for things that look promising. That ends with a 5, so that's an X. And I know this is part of the 5, so therefore I know this is the 1, because if those join, that makes a 6. So that's the 1. 3 has only 1 wiggle room, so that's true. Hope I'm doing this right. I'm making some maybe slightly hasty conclusions. I don't get the feeling that I've said anything wrong yet. By the way, yeah, same rule as that column with that 5 not being able to reach down there. Right, since this was 3 and it had a 1 above it, that's how I was able to make this conclusion. The same is not true here. This is only a 2 and it has a 1 above it, but that 1 is a 3 and I don't know which direction it's going to go, right? This could still be the 5 also. These could join. Space, 1, 2, 3, space, 1, space. No, they couldn't. Space, 1, space, 1, 2, 3. Well, I know that's not a space. So if they can't join, then I know this is the 3. Therefore, there's a zone of exclusion happening on this 5. If these cannot join, then that has to come at least that far down. And this has to come at least this far up. Okay, I think that's all true. This is part of a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Space, 1, 2, 3. Wiggle room is 2, so that can be input. Wait, did I count from the bottom? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. 5, 2, 2, too much. Right. 6 plus 3 plus 2. 10 and a 16, wiggle room of more than 5. Yes, okay. 4, 1, 1. There isn't room for 2 1s to the right of this, so this is one of the 1s. And there isn't room for this to be a 4 anymore, so that now fits. Great. This is a 1. That's a 2, which tells me all those things. This starts with a 2, which tells me that. This is a 1. This is a solitary 1. So are you. Still don't know the rest of that. That's a 2, but I already knew that. This can't be, so therefore that's that. Great. This 3 is capped. This one is true. Okay, so I'm iterating over columns, but also switching to rows when I can do something productive in them. So you just got an extra constraint here, right? I mean, since that's filled in, I know that, and that means I know a lot more about this 10, right? Wait, didn't I always? 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I always knew those, I just didn't fill them in. Okay. 5 can't start with that, 2 can't start with this. Now this is enough constraint to do something about it. So using the slow version of this technique, I see wiggle room as 2. Slow, but more visually verifiable. And not that slow, really. if there's already a 1 here, yeah, it still could be either side. Highlight there. You don't know that that's the second one. This could be the... Or sorry, the first one. This could be the second one. 6. Yeah, okay. So this is a 6. Which I could have known by other means. I don't know the rest, though. Too much wiggle, don't know. This 1 is on the right side. Can't fill in anything with that 2 yet. That 3 is done. Wiggle room of 1, so this is true, right? 1, 2, space, 1, yes. 9, you're lopsided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I know that. I know that's a 3 and that's a 2. So those things all must be true. This row is done. This is not lopsided, and it's not capped any more than it was, so it's fine. This is lopsided, so I know that. That's a 5. There's a 2 in here. That's a 6, so those can't be. That's a 6, so those can't be. Okay. Columns again. 2, 3, 2... That can't be, so this must be the 2, so the 3 is in here. This has to be the 3 in this column, so the other 2 can only fit there. This has to split, so it looks like that. This has to join now, and it looks exactly like this. Cool. Great. This is a 3, but I don't know which way yet, except that's a 1, so I do. Actually I don't, but I do know that... Wait, hold on. What did I just do? So there's no room for another 1 in between here, so I do know this. And also I know that this is a 1. But that's all I know. I can't go any further than that with that. Uncertainty here. That's a 5, and it has a cap, so that, well, like a partial cap, so I know that much. I know that's a 2, and I know there's 1 here. 2 can't fit in this. Okay. And this row is done, by the way. This 6 is done, so the row is done. This 5 is done, so the row is mostly done. That's a 2, that's a 4, row is done. Didn't we already have this? No, we had the yawning pose, and this is the hurt pose, and they look fairly similar. That's what's going on here. Okay, 2, you're done. 6 can't be here, that 6 is done. 2 can't be here, so it must be there. This is a 2, so it looks like that. That's a 5, that's my 2. That's a 2, that's a 2. You get that 6, and is this the last cell? No, this one is. Oops, this one is. Oops. Uh-oh, what did I do? I made a mistake. That's not what 10 looks like. Hold on, so this was correct, this was not. Okay. I eyeballed my 10 wrong. That's better. I'll take a last-minute mistake over a first-minute mistake. Those are the worst. Alright, check it out. I finished a row. That's nice. Yeah, that's the ouch. That's the yawn. Similar face. Eye shape is a little different. Okay. Alright, everything went fine. My new techniques held up pretty well. So next time, 46. I'll see you then.